I feel myself becoming more aware of my mind, body and breath.
If somebody doesn't look at a paper and read, I feel myself being more aware. I've seen people copying answers, but questions…
But once I involve myself in some activity, the awareness goes away after 1 second. So how to involve yourself and still be aware?
See, activity is… let's understand activity first of all. In traditional terms, any kind of activity or action is referred to as karma. All activity is referred to as karma because karma means action. You can do physical action, mental action, emotional action and energy action, which is happening to you right now. All four are happening. Whether you're awake or asleep, still all the four dimensions of activity are happening within you. So activity is not only when you go and do something. Even if you sit down here, activity is happening, isn't it? If you lie down, still activity is happening. If you fall asleep, still activity is happening. So right now, you believe that if I simply sit here, I'm capable of being aware, but if I start walking or running or doing something, I will lose my awareness. No. You are mistaking mental alertness or attention, or today what is being popularized as mindfulness, for awareness. Mindfulness is not awareness. Mindfulness is a certain level of alertness. If we have to use an example, between you and a dog, who is more alert? A dog. That's the reason why we keep him at home, because you may not be so alert, he's alert to everything. Between you and a wild creature in the forest, who is more alert? He is definitely far more alert. Alertness is something that is vital for your survival. If you're not alert, in nature you wouldn't survive. But do not mistake this alertness for awareness. Alertness is something that you can do. Awareness is not something that you can do, because you are awareness. You are here only because you are aware. If there's no awareness, you wouldn't exist. But you can exist with mental alertness or without mental alertness. In some situations you're alert, in some situations you're not. But awareness is aliveness, it's always there. It is just that it is at a low intensity. You just have to pitch up the intensity of this. You do not know how to pitch the intensity of your awareness, so you just pitch up the intensity of your energy. If you work your energy up, then you will see your awareness is also up by itself. But if you practice or if you try to practice awareness, you will end up sharpening your mental alertness. Nothing wrong, it's a wonderful trait, but that will only assist in your survival process. You can do something better than somebody else if you're mentally alert. That does not mean the fundamental quality of who you are will change. But if your awareness is at a higher level, means the very existence changes, the way you are will alter itself. If your alertness comes to a higher level, the way you do things will change. If your awareness comes up, the very way you are will change, because your awareness is your aliveness, or your aliveness is your awareness. So when we talk about heightening awareness, we are talking about pitching up our aliveness, that you're far more alive than before. This is not something that you can do. You can activate the energy and you're alive. Have you noticed that at different times in your life, or many times at different times of the day, sometimes you're far more alive than another time? Have you noticed this or no? So it is not something psychological. One can clearly know that at certain times you are much more alive than another time. So this aliveness, if it's kept up, awareness is taken care of. It is not something that you do, it is something that you are already. Right now it's at a low intensity, we have to heighten the intensity of that. What is it that's coming in our way? Why is it that one person seems to be more aware than the other, or another person seems to be less aware than the other is simply a question of how much of a barrier has your body and mind become, that's all. These two accumulations, the accumulation of body and the accumulation of the mind, how opaque has it become and how much as a barrier has it become? You will see a simple way of checking whether your awareness are going up or not is, if your awareness rises on a particular day, that day the sleep quota will go down naturally. Has your sleep quota gone down in the last 3-4 months? In spite of enormous physical activity, if it is going down, that means your awareness is going up. Alertness will tire you. Try to be alert on something, after some time you tire. Because alertness is an act, it's an action. Because you're performing this action of alertness, it consumes a certain amount of energy and brings you down. Awareness is not an action, it is your way of being. So do not try to practice awareness. You do sadhana to enhance the intensity of your life energies. If your life energies are intense, then you will see your awareness is naturally up. So, it has nothing to do with your activity or no activity. Your alertness may be going down. Right now when you sit here, you're alert. If you start doing your work, you don't have the same level of alertness because you got engaged with the activity. Instead of trying to be alert to every action that you perform, which today in the world is a very popular thing, particularly in United States, it's become very popular, the movement of mindfulness movement or something, okay? What is this? Somebody knows? What's it called? Huh? No. There is a movement called mindfulness movement or something like this. This is essentially a kind of a dropout from the Zen monasteries, and people have concocted something, and mindfulness. Mindfulness will give you alertness. Suddenly, the way you do your work may improve because you're a little more mindful. Because you're mindful, you may be little more conscious of how you relate to people around you. It will lead to attitudinal changes in your life, which other people may appreciate, but this will not make any existential progress. Because this is not awareness, this is mindfulness. You're trying to be alert. If you try to be alert throughout the day, it is very tiring. Yes or no? It's very, very tiring. After some time it's exhausting because you're trying to be alert to everything. It definitely improves your activity. If you want to grow in awareness, it's much easier to do that. You will see immediate result. If you learn to do things with more abandon rather than mindfulness. Mindfulness will curtail you and make you mediocre in many ways. You just do something, a simple act, just a scream or a song or just jump or do something in total abandon, suddenly you will see the level of aliveness in you will be higher. Have you noticed this? Just simply joyful. If you're just joyful, you will do things in more abandon. The more abandon there is in you, the more aware you become. Now, repeatedly in so many different ways saying it doesn't fit into your logical framework, this is also one of the fundamentals for that. Because awareness means lot of people have become cagey, closely watching everything. Awareness will not come. You'll get dog-like alertness. Somebody could employ you because you're so alert and you could be the security person for them. But if you want awareness to grow, you need abandon, that your life energies move freely. They are not stuck up because of the nature of your body or your mind. They are much more liberated in their activity. When life energy moves unbridled, awareness naturally stands up by itself. One is life, another is a particular aspect of activity of the mind. They're very different. So, most people trying to be aware, they will become alert and it produces results, unfortunately. Because it produces results, they will get attached to it. There's a very beautiful poem, I don't know if… probably we've not had the time to bring these things to you, but there have been a set of sages and saints, one of them a woman whose image you see in the Dhyanalinga temple. You've seen that on the panel, Akka Mahadevi. Along with her, there were another 4 or 5 of them who produced such fabulous poetry. They did not generally write, they just sang their poetry, so most of it is lost. Only what people remembered and preserved is preserved, otherwise they simply sang their poetry, never writing down. That is, composing it and singing it simultaneously, okay? This is abandon. She is a symbol of that abandon. She just walked naked all her life, just in total abandon, just singing away thousands and thousands of poems. Only a few were written down by people, rest went. In that state of abandon, I think it's Allama Mahaprabhu, another sage who was an inspiration for her, who said, if you… I mean, he's talking about the good things that people can do. Said if you build water tanks for the people to drink water, you may go to heaven. If you plant trees, you may be appreciated in the society. If you do this, that, so many things, all the service activity he lists out. All these things if you do, you may get this, that, you may even find a place in heaven, but you will not know our Lord. He's in one shot dismissing all the careful, mindful things that people do. With all this, life may get little better. Going to heaven means not ultimate, moving to a little better accommodation. Yes. Yes or no? Little better accommodation, that's all. After some time, heaven will be as troublesome and as boring as any other place that you've been in. So he's saying all this is fine, you may get good marks in the society, you may get good marks here and there, but you will not know the ultimate through this. So he's saying that's not awareness, that's mindfulness, which will make you do things better. You should do things better, no question about that. But you need abandon, a certain sense of abandon in simple things that you do. If you do that, they never let you dance in the Hatha Yoga program, is it? No? See? No abandon. I may break a bone and I can't do my asana tomorrow. You need a sense of abandon if awareness has to grow. Otherwise, you're taking the hard route that you want to knead the body in such a way slowly it'll sit back. As it sits back, awareness goes up. As body and mind are decimated, maybe decimated, the word decimated is scary. As they recede, awareness grows.